This is Kurt Wilhelm, the co-host of Ageless Living here on Voice American World Talk Radio. Welcome back from the break.
And today we're talking about the potion of beauty, Botox, and the fillers. We've covered Botox a little bit in our previous segment. What we're going to go over is what we want to watch out for, the side effects, the risks. And then we're going to talk about the fillers. The risks are, even though they're small, they need to be aware of. Anybody who's thinking about beauty treatment for wrinkles with Botox needs to be aware of the potential side effects of Botox, which usually are related to the nature of how it works, which is paralyzing the muscles. It is a neurotoxin.
How does it originate? How do they create? What's the origin of Botox?
It's botulism.
Okay.
It is a poison that produced by the bacteria. And when you're infected with the bacteria in the body, you can be paralyzed, or part of your body can be, like either the digestive system or. So based on that, we discovered that the toxins work on the junction of the nerve and the muscle. So when that connection is broken down, you can't move the muscle. Your brain's telling you to move, but it can't. So when you apply that small amount of toxin, which, any toxin in the tiniest amount can be therapeutic.
Sure.
When you apply the small amount of the toxin to the desired area, then we will make the muscle move, and then the dynamic wrinkles will not form. This is how it was introduced to aesthetics.
You bet. So then, how do you know when you're taking too much, too little, when the controversy...
Right.
Yeah.
And too much, too little is a big factor. Who's injecting is a big factor. And there are factors that's related to the patient. Like you were talking about, certain individuals can be more sensitive than others. Some people should not have Botox. Some people have allergic reactions, hypersensitivities, or neurological issues should not be getting Botox, because they will have exaggerated result from the same dose that other people's having. So that's one thing. Another thing is people have had Botox in the past and had sensitivity and allergic reaction, shouldn't have it. Pregnant women, nursing mothers, the studies on those subjects are very limited or non-existent. So they should, by common sense, avoid Botox too.
Which is hard to do, because where are you going to get the subject study for your study?
That's correct. That's why there's no such studies to support this type of population.
So be careful. You must stay away.
That's right. So Botox. So we tend to start at a lower dose. If you don't get enough, you can always have more later. But if you have too much, you're going to have a side effect. The good thing about it is that Botox does wear off in a pretty timely manner. Usually with a small amount, it wears off. The side effect wears off within a week or two. The total result usually wears off in 3 months or so.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yes.
realize it was such a short time span.
Right. People get droopy eyelids, because the administration of Botox is above the eyelid. For the forehead, they usually tend to get better within 7 to 10 days.
Wow.
So that's the good part of the Botox being so short lived.
So how do you know when you have a good practitioner and not so good practitioner?
First of all, the judicious use, and the areas only upper face is better. For the lower face, it can be used for wrinkles around the mouth and all that, but there are better alternatives such as the fillers. So the choice of the area is one. The other one is the recommended dosage should be conservative instead of too liberal.
Okay.
Then it's the experience and the carefulness and the aftercare and all that.
You bet. So, if you come in to a med spa and you say, hey, I want to get Botox, and they say how much, and then you give them a large amount. Now, what I would recommend doing is give about 3 times the amount that you really want, and if they say yes, then check out and go to AZ Laser and Scan and get a second opinion, because they don't have your best interest in mind. They could actually, they just want your money. So you want to be overseen by a physician who actually will say, you know what, that's a little more than you need. Let me make this recommendation. We can start off slow. We'll see how it is, and you can
Absolutely.
come back later.
We say that all the time. And just for the information, our office is located at Chandler Boulevard and 46th Street, and our website is www.azmdlaser.com. And the phone number is 480-598-9733.
Absolutely. Now, we have a couple minutes before we go to break. Tell us about some of the alternatives to Botox and in different areas on the face. For example, the other time you should check out and go get a second opinion at Arizona Laser and Scan at azmdlaser.com.
That's correct.
Is if they want to put Botox in your crow's feet. That you might want to be asking yourself for a second opinion.
The crow's feet is okay to use Botox. I mean, it's not FDA approved. It's a very commonly used off-site, off-label use for Botox.
Okay.
But the alternative would be the fillers. The fillers that are divided into a few groups. The most popular and commonly used filler group is the hyaluronic acid.
Mm-hmm.
Hyaluronic acid is a substance that's already existing in the skin. So it is relatively natural. It's not common to have allergic reaction. Not absolute though. There are cases of report of allergic reaction, and they're made in the laboratory. They're not from animal source. They're different brand names. There's Restylane, Juvederm, Perlene. They're all hyaluronic acid based. And the other group is calcium based. An example is called Radius.
Okay.
Radius, think of it's a calcium based filler. It's not hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
It is considered as bone or cartilage in a creamy, injectable form.
Okay.
So it is better to be used for deeper, harder areas for volume expansion.
Volumizing. Okay.
So the third group is more of the permanent fillers like silicone, Artefill. I have a pretty cautious point of view on injecting these type of substance because the results of these injections can be pretty satisfactory immediately right after. It is 5, 3, 10 years later that you may have a reaction to it. That's when the problem is difficult to deal with because those side effects can be pretty permanent too. So I would recommend some degradable, short-term, not short-term, but not permanent fillers, such as Juvederm or Radius.
Very good. Now, how about the length of time? So the Botox might last 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
How about the other types of fillers?
The fillers, the hyaluronic acid-based fillers usually last 4 to 9 months.
Okay.
Depending on individual, everybody's different metabolizing, and also depending on the different brands. The Radius is supposed to last a year and a half, but many people report that it doesn't really last that long. So, in that range. Another important filler I didn't talk about is fat.
Yes.
Right. Fat is great.
You know what? Oh, it looks like, okay, looks like we do. I
We
was
still have
going
some
to
time,
do a
yes.
teaser on you guys, but hey, we're gonna get it right now. Go ahead.
The fat is real quickly, is a great filler because it's your own. Usually we use your own fat for volumizing.
Mhm.
It does have limitations. First of all, it's less predictable. Sometimes it'll last a few months. Sometimes it'll last years or forever.
Mhm.
It can be lumpy. It's not like the other filler that's processed so smooth. The fat is also good for deeper layer of volumizing, but not necessarily for fine lines on the face. So the filler is best to be used for, depending on different type of fillers, all over the face, mostly for the best. Well, let's put it this way. Start from FDA approval.
Okay.
FDA approval for Juvederm is only for nasolabial fold, which is the line from along the side of your nose to the corners of your mouth.
Oh.
That is called nasolabial fold. The FDA approval for Juvederm is only for this area. So to use Juvederm on the forehead, on the glabellar area, for the crow's feet, it's all off-label use.
Well,
And it's also used for increasing or plumping up the lips. Sometimes the nose bridge.
okay.
Sometimes to make the chin a little shaped longer.
Okay.
And the cheekbones to be higher.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. One of the common questions we get is people asking, can we use filler for the 11 lines between the eyebrows? When they frown, they get this
Like
11,
this thing?
yeah, 11 or 111, the 3 lines. That's a important one to address because if you don't do it right, you can waste your money or your filler.
Oh, I see.
The best way to address those lines is the combination of the Botox and the filler. The reason is behind that is that if you don't relax the muscle and just put the filler in there, the excessive movement of the muscles will squeeze your filler out of place. Your money's wasted. So.
It's like having mud in the yard and you traipse through it and then it dries.
Right,
It's
people
just
say,
messy.
well, my doctor put it in the wrong place. Well, they might have not.
Mm.
Your muscle moved it away.
Right. Good point.
So,
So these are all very good pointers. So if you're out there wondering why your face looks a little strange, again, go into, well, actually, first of all, what's a good phone number?
our office phone number is 480-598-9733.
And call and have a free consultation, and they'll be able to share with you all the different options that are available. Or go to azmdlaser.com and research that a little bit. You can see some before and after pictures, and I think you'll be
Absolutely, we
pleased.
have tons of them.
Absolutely. So don't go away. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some health tips and also kind of wrap up the conversation we've been having during
On
this
the
segment
fillers,
on the
yes.
fillers. You bet. So when we come back, we look forward to talking with you more about this. This is your co-host Kurt Wilhelm here on Ageless Living.
And this is Dr. Lee. We'll see you back soon.